Prince Ali. Plain and simple, he's a twink. Now, why would I ever say something like that? Let me tell you, it'll all make sense in a bit. Most of us are familiar with this rugged Prince of the East. He's supposed to be the next in line to rule Al-Kharid, and he kind of is already ruling it because of the Emir, his father, is currently absent. Yet for some reason, even after millions of attempts to rescue and save him, he keeps getting captured by a couple of measly bandits. The same bandits every single time. Now, to me at least, that doesn't really make any sense, and I'm really not implying anything, but does it not look odd that a man of his caliber is getting kidnapped so easily? Time after time he keeps finding himself in the same jail in Draenor. At what point is it safe to say he wants to be captured? What if their rugged and regal appearance is just a hoax? What if, deep down, he actually just wants to be carried like a little princess and playfully scream as his captors carry him away? Prince Ali just might be a twink. Now, as you probably can tell, that doesn't quite explain it all yet, but just wait, everything comes in due time. It'll make sense. See, he keeps getting captured and saved by the same strong mummies in a loop of joy and happiness for him. Those mummies are known as Leela and Lady Kelly. Lady Kelly being the one to capture and Leela the one to help him. Sorry for the spoilers. All the while, his old, sickly and forgetful father is bedridden, fearing for his son's life. There, Emir awaits, day in and day out, waiting for the next time a player strolls around a corner with a new type of restricted account just to see his son for a couple of hours, before he is once again long gone like the Caridian wind and taken away by Lady Kelly and his henchmen. And I don't think it is Kelly that Prince Ali necessarily wants to see. He might enjoy the process, but I think it's his secret lover Joe, the head jail guard in Draenor. Now, this is where we jump into the deep end of this. The prince wanting to see Joe would make sense. He's in love with Joe, this strong, masculine, handsome, eye candy piece of a man. We, as a player, do not see the nights, but what happens during the nights that Prince Ali is locked up and Lady Kelly takes a smoke break outside is something even I do not dare to speak of. And it is safe to assume that, of course, Lady Kelly is just a paid actor, right? It would also make sense. But even she could be unaware of the unspoken acts Joe and Prince Ali commit behind the closed doors and behind those bars. She has not been paid enough to care, and she has even grown tired of the job. Clearly that is the case, hence why during the quest she lends you her key. She's not actually arrogant or egoistic, she just wants to get rid of Ali. She wants to get out of this situation, but she also needs to get paid. She's between a rock and a hard place, trying to feed her family of 4, but the more times the player lets Prince Ali out, the more times Lady Kelly gets paid. Then why would Prince Ali let himself be rescued if he wants to stay with Joe? Well, it's complicated. He can't say no to getting rescued as it would look too suspicious. It would bust his cover and might even get Joe executed for their scandalous relationship. The lie deepens though, Prince Ali seems to have no arguments against being dressed in feminine clothing. Long pink skirt combined with a beautiful blonde wig. Like this man is just one-upping Kelly for no reason. There's no reason he looks so good in that piece of outfit. Prince Ali could have also just ordered the player to slay down all the guards, and the problem would never occur anymore, right? Leaving them alive is like wanting to be captured by the same ragged thieves. It's almost impressive how well thorough Ali has already thought this through. He does not even make a slight slip up about being in love or enjoying the company of Joe. It is all outrageously well planned. At first it looks like even Joe doesn't say a word about Ali, his precious lover. Like they're completely trying to avoid being seen together until Joe slipped up. See, even though nothing was mentioned of it, he got visibly mad as I only offered him coins. Not certainly saying that he needs to let anyone escape, nothing. I didn't even mention their job, and he gets visibly angry. Why would someone get angry at an offer of coins? He said it was only because he thought I was trying to bribe him. I mean, unlikely story, Joe, that's seen way too many times already. All this has been planned so meticulously that it is hard to believe it would be a coincidence. This is what I think. He gets mad because he knows if he takes the money, he will not see Prince Ali for a while again. Joe is clearly a man who puts his emotions over his financial situation. Joe also seems to be a man of honor and integrity. All of this can be taken as a side point, yet if that did not convince you, he even says that he's not a great guard perhaps, but at least he's loyal. Loyal to who? To Kelly? The one that has to listen to the two men wrestle at night? That is quite a ridiculous statement, even if I say so myself. Or more sensibly, is it loyalty to Prince Ali? I mean, why would he care about money and finance if the whole project is financed and paid for by Prince Ali himself? See, Joe is a man who, as a boy, used to enjoy hunting fish with a bow and arrow. How is this related at all to him liking Prince Ali? We will get to that. Just hold your horses for a second. So, Joe also said it was more common to shoot goblins as a kid. So why was he, a surely completely normal kid, shooting fish? He could have been poor and had to hunt fish as a source of food, but his other dialogue gives us the real reason. In the dialogue in question, he kind of panics and says, in quotations, "Hang on, why do you ask? What do you want?" End of quotations. It is like he's afraid to tell about his more feeble and weak self. Not sure about his identity, and lost in confusion even as a younger boy. It just seems way too suspicious for it all to be just a coincidence. He's way too wary of subtle questions and casual conversation. It is like he's afraid of who he is as himself. He's keeping this manly guard persona up, seemingly enjoying beer and drinking with his pals, and I'd believe him speaking the truth as any other guard, but for a man of his integrity and loyalty, it is odd how eager he is to grab those 3 beers and just drink them during the job. And to top this off, he does this right in front of his boss as well. Adding this all together, Joe just seems to be too eager to prove he's something that he's not. I mean, think about it. 3 beers in, he's piss out drunk. That is not something that a regular bar goer does. It's not normal, so to say. And Don't get me wrong, I still think Joe dappers in alcohol just to drown his real emotions so that he can have that brief moment of stress-free time. He clearly is not a heavyweight like one could think from purely appearances and talks. But that is all he is, all talk. I don't think he's nothing like we thought he is. Now, I just think he's a fake persona, an empty outer shell that protects his inner, more tender and caring gay self. This all kind of rubs itself back to Kelly, who is literally seeing you give Joe the beers for him to chug. Let me repeat that for you. She's actively awake and watching, and within hearing distance as well, while you give Joe his beers, and does absolutely nothing to stop you. Like as if she does not even care that Joe is drinking on a job, as if she did not care that you are plotting to free Prince Ali, as if she did not care that you are there to ruin her magnificent plan. All of it is just enough off to make it click and make it right. And when that click happens, you and I understood it all. If we start psychoanalyzing Prince Ali and his past, we can see that there are not too many women in Al Kharid, which would make it more likely for him to get interested in men. The only 4 women in Al Kharid are the witch's apprentice, one in the general store, Ranel, the skirt shop owner, and Aisha, the cactus patch farmer. I excluded the bankers as they could be working from out of town. The PvP arena has few more, but it is not a place that is suited for younger boys. So he was day in and day out surrounded by men, and eventually he grew to enjoy the romantic company of men. I mean, having sweaty, muscular, bearded, and hot men just walking around you and protecting you all day round. I would hate that myself. Yeah, I'd hate that. But that is his childhood, his existence, not mine. I'm not projecting. You're projecting. Anyways, it is safe to say he never had any monetary issues, as he's a prince. Most likely a rather peaceful childhood, so he found himself daydreaming and found himself fascinated by the soldiers. A rather sound and reasonable conclusion. It does not help that the soldiers most likely had a really good work ethic and a tough mental fortitude that rubbed onto him a bit differently during his childhood. A bit differently indeed. This also wraps around to his clear liking of Joe. See, Joe, just like all the people Prince Ali grew around, is a guard. It is almost so clear, it is hard to believe. The reason Prince Ali is a twink bubbles from his childhood and becomes this beautiful Romeo and Romeo secret love story. I bet when I first called him a twink, a lot of you might have shaken their head or even laughed out loud at their ridiculous statement. Yet here we are. At the end of it all, as the curtains fall, it all makes sense. It is amazing how Jags managed to hide this story for 23 years. All of it right in front of our eyes. In any case, I hope to hear what you have to say about my discovery, and I personally will look forward to uncovering other hidden stories like this within Gielinor, and I hope to see you there with me. Until next time, Mr. Milkman.